Guy Tragrasso. I'm President and CEO of the Bellingham... Oh, there we go. Nice. There you go. President and CEO of the Bellingham Regional Chamber of Commerce. And this is one of the funnest, best parts of my job, is we get to celebrate entities and businesses and organizations in our community doing great things. And so usually ribbon cuttings are brand new, and there's a lot of newness here with the name change and with the newly minted executive director, who is amazing, by the way, the little bit that I've seen so far. About a round of applause. And so I usually say something very similar at every ribbon cutting. Thank you for the investment. And it's still that same commitment. Thank you for the investment. And as a fellow nonprofit, as the chamber is, we understand the value of time, treasure, and talents, right? And there's a lot of volunteering that goes on at nonprofits, and a lot of commitment of not only a financial commitment or a staffing commitment, but a commitment of the heart and a commitment of the mental faculties that need to go into running an effective nonprofit. So I am very pleased to be here today, this evening. It's cold. And so I'm going to finish talking. You're not here to listen to me. I'm happy to introduce Joanne, newly executive director.
Woo! All right, thank you. I'm very sorry about the coldness. I don't know who's thought it would be a great idea to schedule a ribbon cutting outside in November. I'm gonna have to talk to that person. So, welcome. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here. My name is Joanne Clemo, and I am the newly assigned Executive Director of Dementia Support Northwest. Although my current position is recent, I have been with this organization for about 2 years, first as an intern, then as a program coordinator, and now as Executive Director. I have had the opportunity to observe this organization from multiple vantage points, and I'm excited to use the many experiences I have had thus far to move forward. As a proud Western Washington Human Services graduate, my passion for our mission here is focused on the human part of the human services we provide. I would like to read a few testimonials from participants of our programs. This group has made me feel so happy. I know it gives my wife a break, and I love that we all have the same stuff going on. Another was, it's kind of like meeting a whole new family. It's important. To sit in your room all day and not to talk to anyone, you forget how to be a person. This group really has saved me. I look forward to this, and I really don't know how I could be doing this by myself. This is what we do here. I want to take a moment to recognize those who have had a hand in making these statements so. By a show of hands, who here has worked within our organization in any capacity? Thank you. Please keep your hands up, and I want you to look around. You are all the reasons that we can tell people you are not alone. So thank you. No one can and no one should have to do this alone. In a perfect world, a family member would take their loved one to a doctor, receive a diagnosis along with education, and have many avenues to pursue support and resources through. However, commonly, those who actually do go see a doctor often leave with nothing more than a diagnosis. Could you imagine if somebody was given a cancer diagnosis on a piece of paper and set on their way to navigate the treatment plan on their own? We speak to people experiencing just that daily. But rest assured, you are not alone. My first role here was co-facilitating caregiver support groups and the groups of those living with dementia. I can tell you from experience, those groups are lifelines for those who utilize them. A dementia diagnosis sadly is not often followed, with frozen meals being brought over and friends flocking over to see how they can help. The relationship between depression and dementia is all too prevalent. Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, dementia with Lewy bodies, frontotemporal dementia, and the other 70+ types of dementia-related illnesses are scary words, no matter what role you play in that equation. But you are not alone. Our staff, board members, and volunteers have walked in your shoes. We are the grandchildren, the children, the siblings, the spouses, the widows, the neighbors, the nurses, the law enforcement, the person at the grocery store waiting patiently behind the man that can't remember which card to use at checkout. We understand that you are embarking on a new way of life with many challenges and changes ahead. And we are here to guide you, to hold your hand, to listen, to provide knowledge so you can be better prepared. And I reassure you, the human part of our services is not taken lightly. To quote Atul Gawande, we've been going about our job. We've been wrong about our job, what our job is in medicine. We think our job is to ensure health and survival, but really it is larger than that. It is to enable well-being, and well-being is about the reasons one wishes to be alive. A vibrant community and the qualitative expressions of being are still possible after a diagnosis. Again, you are not alone. In 1983, our founders began our mission in their kitchen because they had family members going through this. Back then, little to nothing was known about this matter, and for 35 years, the Alzheimer's Society of Washington has served Whatcom County by way of support groups to combat the isolation that the silent patients that caregivers become, and to deliver educational-based support and peer support. Our groups for those living with dementia also decrease the isolation experienced and allow a sense of belonging to someone who feels they are losing their purpose. Through our educational events and talking, we inform and spread awareness while providing the needed tools to live successfully with dementia. The free memory screenings we offer are a great way to ease into the process of exploring what is actually happening and how to move forward. Project Lifesaver wristbands provide loved ones with relief that we have their back should a loved one decide to wander and become confused. And now here we are at the end of 2019. We've come quite a way since 1983. We're expanding into Skagit County, exploring and forming partnerships within the community, and we have some really exciting things on the horizon. According to the Washington State Plan to address Alzheimer's disease and other dementias, currently about 107,000 people in Washington have Alzheimer's or other dementias. By 2040, that number is expected to grow to over 270,000. Whatcom County is viewed as a great place to retire. We need to get ready. We should already be ready. You cannot do this alone, and neither can we. We must always be striving to do more and find ways to reach more. Bellingham Parks and Rec reached out to us to address the fact that the leisure guide is lacking in dementia-friendly activities. I'm so excited to share that they are donating a garden plot to Dementia Support Northwest effective January, and we are actively working together to expand and implement new dementia-friendly programs in our county. That's right. Partnering with local law enforcement and first responders is also top priority. I've had the pleasure of working with Officer Zach, a mental health officer from the Bellingham PD. Officer Zach, thank you very much. His assistance and willingness to aid us in crisis situations are a breath of fresh air, and I'm excited to partner more. Western Washington University has had us speak to their students, and I'm thrilled about their addition of a palliative care program. There's some really great things happening here. The Chuck Annett Health Foundation understands the value of education and aging well in Whatcom County and is a huge supporter of us enabling to provide the education we do. And we're looking forward to the great things that we will accomplish together. The hospital has offered their support in providing more avenues for community awareness, and we are so excited about the possibilities. We also could not do what we do without the ongoing support from our local memory care communities. You guys helped us tonight, and you help us every day. Veteran outreach is something we're currently working on, and there's great potential for new programs. As an Army veteran, yes, thank you. As an Army veteran myself, I couldn't help but notice the number of participants in our groups that are veterans. Research has identified a correlation between veterans and dementia, and we need to fill those gaps, and we need to do it now. Those in Whatcom and Skagit County rely on our existence, and with no government funding, very little grants, and no backing from a larger nonprofit, we rely on your partnerships and support, both emotional and financial. So I would like to extend a very heartfelt thank you to those we have worked with in the past, those who we currently work with, and those who will be approaching me in the future about how we can work together to tell our community members that they are not alone. Because this will, if it has not already, affect every single person here and in our community, whether directly with a family member or indirectly in the event of a car accident caused by someone whose family did not want to take away their license. It could be an interaction with a stressed out caregiver at a store, or it could be yourself. Dementia does not discriminate just because one is uncomfortable speaking about it. Or for those who don't feel it's their issue, doesn't mean it won't find you, but we will be here, and you are not alone. When speaking with our founder recently, she spoke about not wanting to refer to our renaming as a name change, rather a name expansion. We know now that Alzheimer's disease falls under the dementia umbrella, and expanding our name will hopefully organically provide some basic education on the matter. Not all dementia is Alzheimer's disease. No case is identical. And again, you are not alone. Thank you very much for celebrating with us.
I am just going to say it's time to cut a ribbon. I'm not wanting to follow that. That was well done. Set the bar for every other ribbon cutting. So, it's time to cut a ribbon. I think we've got a couple people taking photos, and it's up to you as far as I would say staff. Staff and board as a priority. Please come up and we'll set the ribbon, and then we can eventually let everybody go back inside. Maybe.
Esther, come. You're really part of the staff. Ma. Yeah, come on, get up there.
You want to be on that side so I can take a picture of you facing. I can see it. Okay. So hold on one second. Can you scoot back just a couple steps so you are behind? Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Perfect.
There you go. All right.
Get in there, George. Get over here.
Get in there.
Okay, so I always, let me go to the mic because I know everyone's in the mic. I always love when I don't have to be in the photo so I don't ruin them. But I will need everyone's help on this. So count down from 3 and we cut on 1. So I'm not going to scream into the mic as you do this, but 3.
3, 2, 1.
That was a good one.